Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. We're going to glue this down with my Barely Art glue. So I'm going to grab that here in just a second. And okay, let's clean up this ink mess really fast and glue our trees together. I love this little mat for glue and ink because it's small. I can whip it out and I just have to clean this little area with a baby wipe and we're good to go. I just flipped it over because it was, needed to dry. But it's like 100 degrees here right now, so it's not a problem. Things dry very quickly in this climate. So let's use the reverse tweezers to add our glue. There's the glue press that I love and adore. And I'm just going to put some dots on here. It clogged, which is unusual because it's, like I said, it's so warm up here in my craft room. It's upstairs. I have a fan going all the time. It's highly likely that you can hear my fan. I am sorry about that, but it's hot. So for the summer, I'm going to try to edit it out. We'll see what happens. But the fan's going all the time. And finally, I have moved things around in my craft room enough to where they don't blow when the fan, because it's a rotating, oscillating fan, I guess is the word. And so let's glue that down and we're going to put some weight on it while we go on to the next tree. So this one does not have the same cracking issue. It's a different piece of cardstock that I just grabbed out of my small scrap storage that I showed you in another video that I will put in the description. And yeah, again, my favorite thing, using those scraps. I have used so much more with this storage, so much more. And it just sits right here next to me, and my Scout lives on top of it in the box, and my plates are right there, and my shims are right there. So it's very handy. Look how cute these trees are. That's just cute. So let's put some more weight on them and let them dry while we move on to the tree with the leaves. And I took inspiration from the cover of this die set for the color variation. Darker on the bottom, got lighter at the top. So that's what I'm going to do. And I spared you from all the cutting because there was some cutting going on here with my Scout. And if you haven't used a manual die cutter before, it's really, really simple. Don't be afraid. And it's it's one of my favorite things. I mean, I love my Cricut products, and I have a Brother Scan and Cut for, cutting, like, what do they call it? The tracing of a stamp or whatever, because that's all there was, and it works great. And I had a Silhouette until my husband knocked it off a shelf and it stopped working. He walked in, knocked it right off because it was next to the doorway where it lived. And it has not worked since. And I'm like, okay, that's okay. That's when I brought a Cricut. And the cut's nice, products are readily available. And so I was a Silhouette user for many, many, many years, and I did enjoy the heck out of it. And I still would if it was working. But this is just as simple. And the sizes, like I have a small Cricut on my desk, and I have a travel little Joy that goes with me when I go to lengthy crops. And I'll have to show you my setup for that someday. I always think I'm going to do it, and the room is kind of noisy, so I don't. But I have scrapbooked there and taped it before. I was doing some of my numbers book there last time, and there's one coming up at the end of July, and I will be there again. And so the planning for what I'm doing has started. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to work on some more of these month in review layouts, so I'm just going to print pictures ahead of time so that I don't have to bring my photo printer. Although it's tiny and I don't mind bringing it, it's just nicer the less you have to bring, as you know, if you've ever traveled with your stuff. So, anywho, so this tree came out really cute, and I decided, 3. I did 3 because 3 is the magic number. Odd numbers always odd numbers, unless there's some special circumstance that just looks better, it's more appealing. Yeah, it's good. Odd. 3 is the magic number usually. And even like when they tell you on other videos the design in scrapbooking, 3, it's a triangle. Try the visual triangle, 3, 3, 3. But this layout, it does not really have a visual triangle. I mean, maybe kind of on the when I finish. A few things are triangle-y, what I end up adding, but you'll see. So this, we're going to put these borders on this paper, and I am desperately trying to use up my ATG supplies, because the word is that they are not going to continue supporting the ATG gun. I don't know if something better is coming. I don't, but that supplies are they did get more expensive, and I have had this gun for several years, and I have lots of refills. So I'm like, I love my glue, but I need to use up this ATG before, you know, it's not around anymore, and I can just move on. So I don't know, maybe I'll look into that rumor and see. But let's just put down some ATG and glue these on, and I'm going to try to make them look similar. So here's my gun. I painted it my color because I love that color of the tealy blue. Tiffany blue, is that what we would call it? I don't know, you tell me. So we're going to run some tape runner down here, a couple of them, because I think my gun's about to run out. And you can see the handle to my other gun. It has a 1/2 inch in it. It's a gun that can take different sizes. The blue gun there is a 1/4 inch only. But I do have the 1/2 inch gun, which I also really like. I didn't paint it. It's nice that they are different so that I don't grab the wrong one. I like that. So, but once this adhesive is down, it's down. And you can't wiggle it too much if you've pressed it down at all. So let's get this glued down real quick. And I'm using the measurements on my mat to make sure it's even. And it comes out great. And I do the same to the other side to make it look lovely as well. So this was a super fast and easy. It just adds some little something. I could have put another strip of paper down to separate those. It didn't need it, but I love layers. And so making pages without layers is kind of difficult for me. I love them, but I've had to scrap differently for the charity that I scrap for, because simple pages, although some of the ladies there make lovely pages with so many layers, but I'm like, we got to knock these guys out. So simple layers, I do some extra things now and then, but simple is the name of the game there, because we have so many albums. I've been with the organization for many years, and it took me a little bit to get the hang of that style of scrapping, because there's no photos, because they put the photos in the albums of the deceased individuals. It's strictly a comfort measure for the families, and it's a great, I really enjoy it, and the ladies that I work with, and hearing about that families getting their albums, and love it very much. So, and the ladies are just fabulous. So, okay, so now I'm going to audition this layout out and where I want my trees. And I decide that I like that smaller tree towards the middle of the layout. So I just like how it looks. I like that it doesn't compete with that punched border. And I think it's great. So, and now I'm like, okay, sketch, let's get back here, sketch. I'm trying to decide how, I've cut my photos down to 2.5 inches each. That worked out great. I think hers were 2 inches, but mine lent themselves to 2.5 inches, so that's what I did. And I'm like, okay, some of them, the colors are, they're all over the map because this is a whole month's worth of an overview. There's my 102. It's May of last year, 102. Crazy. But this year we had a lot more lovely, mild weather until now, which is fine. It's fine. This is a lovely place to live, so I don't mind it one bit. I can handle a few days of hot, and we have a pool, so there's that. And yeah. Pardon me while I take a drink of my coffee, because you know what? It's early in the morning, and I have put off making this video because, well, A, it's an hour long, so I have to talk for an hour, and B, my whole family was sick. My daughter and her 2 children and her husband came, and I think they were carrying something, but the kids were a little snarky, and her husband, when he got home, had a really bad sore throat. And so I was like, oh, okay, I'm not going to get it. And yeah, I got it. And it knocked me on my rear end for a week. And she still has it because, her baby got it and everything. But anyway, that's why this video is so late and I haven't been posting. I just was so sick. So as you can see, I'm trying out these photos, and my photos are not all 2.5 inches. I have a 4x6 on here also to squeeze in about Mother's Day, which was so sweet. My family is very sweet to me. But I want to move these colors around because there's a lot of pink and blue on this, and then there's some red, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So I have to finagle them a little bit, and there's some glare on this. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to get rid of that. I'm looking into other lighting. I had my Nail Tech light that I think I'm going to sell. It's a great light, but it's not wide enough for me. I need one extra wide because I had to put it up on blocks to get it high enough for recording. And what am I doing here? I don't know what I'm doing here. Sometimes I've lost my mind. Oh, I'm just going to move it. So I've cut my title. Here's my title. It's in Cricut Design Space. I just added an offset to it because I like that look. And this is how I've done all the titles for 2025. There are other month titles that are designed in Cricut, which I'm considering using, but these are my favorite ones. They're so cute how they have the 2 words, the block and then the script. So I decide that orange paper is not going to work, and I go for more of a coral color. I was trying to pull it in. I was trying that orange because I was trying to pull it, excuse me, that red in from that 102 heat advisory thing from the internet, and it just didn't work. It was not good. So we're going to glue this down really quick, and it's so easy. This is the best. I'm telling you, this is my favorite thing. I just love making these things. Oh, and there's my tip about cutting it in mirror. The back side cuts better than the front. It has something to do with the blade, I know, but not that it's worn out or anything, but it's just how cutting with a electric die cutter is. So I found that if my intricate cuts, if I mirror them and cut them, that they look nicer. So I don't know if that's not a news flash to anyone else, but to me, I was like, oh, I so need to remember to do this all the time. Because I have friends that I swap titles with almost monthly, and theirs looks so nice, and I'm like, why is mine not coming out like that? And yeah, that must be why. I didn't ask, but I should, but I didn't. So I'm just going to squiggle some glue on here really fast and make this title. You have to match it up, and you can easily screw this up and put glue on the wrong side. But what I found with Barely Art, because it dries clear and matte, that if I just wipe it off right away, it's all good. So we're good to go.
Well,
oops.
hello there.
I hit my mouse. Sorry about that. Anyway, so I'm checking the placement of these because some of the legs on the letters are longer. So I need to check because, like I said, I have put it on the wrong side before, glue on the wrong side, and it annoys me. It's not insurmountable, but it annoys me. So I'm just wiping some dust off of there. So there's the word May. Isn't it the cutest? It's so cute. I just love this title. It's so cute. I made a whole set of them for my charity that I work for their raffle. And hopefully my friend who runs it can find it. She's notorious for putting things away and losing them, just like the rest of us. So I hope it's where it needs to be. I haven't been in a couple weeks. So like I said, I was sick, and then I went to visit my daughter this last Thursday. So I didn't go in the shop. Anyway, I decided that I'm going to cut grass for the bottoms of this because trees grow in the ground. And so they needed something to anchor them. So I just punched this, and I guess I knocked that off. So that's why I was looking at it. But I recently purchased a punch that's discontinued from Creative Memories because I thought I had it, and I thought the charity that I volunteer for also had it, but they don't. And so I used a different one, an older one. It's a Martha Stewart grass punch. I tried to cut it with my Cricut, and it was not good. And I don't really know why, but it just was not good. And it wasn't long enough because I was being lazy and didn't not break out my 24-inch mat. So, but this looks fine. You'll see it on the layout, and it looks fine. I just punch it, and I punch it off camera because, yawn, hello, you just saw me punching something. Almost everybody knows how to punch a border. So I didn't bother showing you. I might have shown you the punch, but maybe not. So, okay, while this gets stuck down, I'm going to take a sip of my coffee, friends. Talking for this long, right in a row, yeah, it's a lot. And I didn't bring up my Gatorade. I have to drink a Gatorade Zero every day or I get cramps. So, in my legs. So there we go. Gosh, I really like it. Okay, so let's go back over here to the sketch. So as you can see, it has a journaling box, so I need to figure out my journaling and where it's going to go. It also has blocks of color that I did not add. My photos are bigger, and my photos are bigger, so I didn't need that. So, here I am trying to adjust my camera. Isn't that swell? Okay, so here you're going to see a little bit of my tummy there. And now we're going to look at the whole layout, and we're going to glue on this grass. So I'm going to turn, we're going to glue on this edge. I thought I'd already glued those down. I forgot, I waited. I didn't want to commitment problems. So we're going to use the ATG ½ inch. I don't have as much of this adhesive, but ½ inch, okay, let's use it. Okay, so we're going to glue this down, making sure it's evenly on the edge of that page. And because like I said, once it's down, it's down. It's so down. So I just love that color combo, that blue with that coral. Yep, it's good. I don't know what you're seeing there in that camera. I have no idea what that shadow is from. Who knows? So we're going to glue the grass down, but first I'm going to glue the other side down. So I got to move all of my photos over to the other side and try to remember where I had them. Let's put this one aside and get this glued. I could have just used liquid glue. I had it sitting right here next to me, but this works just as well. Whatever makes you comfortable. I use both. I just go back and forth, and yeah, it's all good. Doesn't matter if it's all one or not. The thing with like tape runners, except for this one, is you can get them up with like undo. Well, glue, not so much. You can't just pull them up with your spatula. I mean, and glue doesn't work great. I mean, undo doesn't do great on glue, but for this it would. For this stickery type adhesive, undo would work. But like a regular tape runner, like a Tombow, you can just pull it up, or even a Scrapbook adhesives. Oh, here I'm showing you the punch. This is the Martha Stewart punch. It's very old. I borrowed it, and it's perfect. The Creative Memories one is a little larger grass, which would also have been fine, but this worked out pretty good because, again, my photos are different than the sketch. So, and there was no grass in that sketch. It had trees, had a tree, and it had like a scallop, but no grass. And I was like, I need grass instead of a scallop. So there's my avocado. I'm trying to decide, do I want to put that avocado shaped tree there, or what am I doing here? But I go back to my original plan, and see, I had to cover up my granddaughter's face. It's a requirement by her parents, which is fine. It's a different world that we live in, so I have to honor their wishes. And I am allowed to share on my personal pages, but not my public pages, because my personal ones are for family and friends only. And so, yeah. So that's what I'm doing. And I wish I had, for you guys, I wish I had not used that hot pink to cover it up, because it distracts from what's on the camera. Next time I'll use like a pale yellow or something, or I'll put some just plain white dots instead. But I just grabbed a Post-it next to me and cut it up. And it happened to be hot pink. So I'll pull out the yellow next time, or the black. I do have black ones now, and I really like those. So I am working in these extra long photos. That photo of the 4 people is 5 inches long, so that's 2.5 by 2.5, but there's no space. So the spacing is a little off, but once the layout has come together, I don't even notice that. So it's all good. It's handmade, baby. That's what I always say. It's handmade. This is a handmade page, handmade scrapbook by me, for my children, about my life. And life is not perfect. So now I'm trying to decide, where am I going to put this title? And I decide it needs to go back over here. But also something needs to happen on that right side. And can you guess what needs to happen? So I'm like, hey, how about this? How about this? And yeah, that big voted sign, out of place. Just looks out of place. So I'm like, let's swap these colors. Let's try it down there. No, that's not good. Let's try it there. That makes me happy. So, yeah. So that's much better. Those colors are kind of weird, but again, this is an overview of my month. So the pictures are not going to be coordinated. There's no children to dress up in coordinated outfits. And I end up going with this. So then I'm like, okay, so what needs to go here? More trees. Yep, needs more trees. So I decided to cut 2 more because, as I previously said, odd numbers. So by the magic of television, 2 more trees are going to show up. But now I'm looking at my journaling. Where am I going to put this journaling? So that's a 2.5 inch square, and I'm like, how does that look under there? Where am I going to put this journal? Where? But I haven't typed out my journaling yet, and I'm thinking, could I make a long journal box right there? No, okay. And so I'm going to cut this square down a little more. And just to see what I need to do here. So, and what I'm going to decide to do, where I'm going to put journaling. And it really only needed one set of journaling, but the nature of the layout was, the nature of this layout is more like a list. So I decide my journaling is going to be in list form. And I end up typing it on Google Docs in a list number. So I'm going to go, as I'm telling you here, I am going to go half of the list on one side and half of the list on the other. So let's cut another journaling box the same size and see how that works out. And I think those are 2 inches or 2.25. No, they're 2.5. They're 2.5. And the same size as those pictures. So I don't know why I started with that big one. That was weird. So, but you know, hey. Live and learn, right? So this one looks a little smaller. And it is. And that's fine. There just wasn't as much room there. So I'm going to number my photos is my plan during this time. And I can't wait to show you how I number them. Like I said, there's 12 photos on here. And somehow we have to link this journaling to them. So we're going to do that after I'm auditioning my trees again to decide which trees I want to do, because I think that one with the multiple leaves is lovely, but I think it's also distracting. And I'm only going to be able to place them, 2 of them next to each other, and I don't want them to touch that border. So there's my magic 2 trees. Let's put this grass down. The grass came out really great. I think the color is called like Green Apples from 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop. I bought it. And let me look super fast to see what color that is. It is called Gumdrop green. Very cute. It's a good green. Good standard green. Great for Christmas, great for grass. It's a good green. And I still have, well, maybe I'll use green on my next layout because I still have June to do. Or did I already do June? Now I can't remember. I'll have to go look at that album. I kind of skipped around a little. And, oh, actually, I think that was from 2026. Not sure. I'm going to use my T-square, which, girls, watch your T-square, because I was listening to Lisa Brooks and her T-square went wonky and wasn't straight. So, I mean, they're thin plastic. I mean, they're easily bendable. And I would like to find a better one, but I don't want anything so bulky that I can't store it easily on my desk either. So I'm going to temporary glue with a different runner these photos down, because what if I want to change them, right? And eventually that just becomes permanent. This type of glue. It's 3L Scrapbook adhesives. And so far I have had no pictures fall off. Sadly, my Tombow glue that I used forever and ever and ever, even though it says it's permanent, some of the pictures fell off. You know, I mean, those albums are old, and I might go through them and re-glue. We'll see. So, anyway, I just want to get these straight, or relatively straight, because perfectly imperfect is good. So I'm pulling this one up because it's not quite right spacing wise. So I am not all perfectionist. I'm just not. So, but I do like things to look nice. So there's the difference. Apparently picking those up is difficult with my nails on. These nails I do not recommend. I got them off an ad. I ordered them from an ad on Facebook because I was weak. And I do not like them. The cheapy nail, I really love going to the nail salon, but the prices have increased so much, and I just, in my head, I'm like, I just can't. I can't do it. I can do this at home somehow. And my friend wears these press-ons, and I'm telling you, they are not expensive, and they will last 2 weeks or more if you prep your nails right. And weather, and depending on how much, water you're in and all that good stuff. But yeah, but this brand, I won't even mention the name because I don't want you to buy it. So, but this brand did not stay on well, and these have already come off. I've already taken them off and moved on to a different set. So also I bought gloves thinking, okay, well, I don't want to get ink on my lovely nails. I bought like gloves that you buy for, medical gloves or dental gloves or kitchen gloves, and I have not worn a single one. I just wipe whatever ink on, I wipe it off immediately, and it's been fine. So I do like having nails, but my own nails have grown out so much that I could probably just paint them and be good. But I'm also not patient, so there's that. So, okay, I'm trying to line this up because I have this one last picture to go down here. And this is just 3L Scrapbook adhesives, temporary dot glue. There's my head. You could see my gray hairs if you really wanted. And this, I don't know if I would do this sketch again. I love that it has all these photos on it, but this part, I was like, oh my goodness gracious. Lining it all up, I was like, okay, no. I don't know if I want to do that again. It did work out. It's a fine layout, has a lot of variety. I like it. But again, some of my photos from May are bigger because, that's just how they were taken and how it worked out. And I have some Facebook posts on here that I just copied off the screen and printed, and some lovely words from my husband and my daughters, and that I want to remember because they are my life. I just love the heck out of them. So that's why my photos are not all squares. Things I want to remember, and keep on this layout. That little sweet picture of my daughters when they were little, going down the slide at the, they were at the Harvest Festival in town, pumpkin patch. So that's one of our favorite photos of them having fun. They're all very close and wonderful women. They're wonderful women. 2 of them are mothers. I'm sure that other one will be a mother before we know it. And life is filling up again. So I had no grandchildren for quite some time, and now I have 3. It's insanity. It's the best thing ever. So, I decided to pick that up. I guess I didn't like the placement. It looked crooked, I guess. So, I'm just doing some minor adjusting here. And you get to watch it. Aren't you lucky? Isn't this the best hobby? It's the best hobby. It's relaxing, and gosh, it's the best. So let's use this T-square again and get these as straight as possible. I'm going to glue this 4x6 down. That was also taken from Instagram. and use it as a placement guide. But I also have to be careful because I don't want my grass to cover up all of my photo. There's a sweet photo down in the bottom right of that 4x6 of my daughter and I after she was born. I went back to the place I moved from and was saying, hey, check this out. I have a baby now. And my hometown. And it was super, super. Those ladies are great ladies. And I probably would have stayed there for 30 years and had my whole life there. But it didn't work out like that. God had other plans for me. And He knows best. So here I am in this 103-degree weather. I used to live along the coast, and so the hottest part of the day was midday, like 2. And here the hottest part of the day is between 4 and 5. And I was like, what is this? And it stays light so long, to where it would be, dusk already on the coast. And so this is beautiful in a different way. Lots of things to do here, lots and lots. And very family-oriented area, which I love. And lots of good people. So many good people. I have made the best friends here. It's crazy. Friends that I had friends at home, don't get me wrong, but back home. But I just bonded with these ladies here through scrapbooking. It was amazing. It's still amazing. So, I was watching something, and while I don't see all of them all the time, but I know where they all are, and I was watching something from a psychologist they'd studied, now, and they say, like, most people on the average change friends about every 7 years, and I'm like, oh, well, aren't I lucky? I've had some 20, 25 friends, and I've had friends from school that I've known for 40 years, and I'm like, oh, I'm so fortunate. And, and some I didn't ever talk to again, and which is strange to me because I would have gladly been friends with them for the rest of my life, some of them. And, but I was blessed by finding this group of women, and we bonded over this hobby, and I can't give it up. I love it. Many of them have moved on. I just really see the value in this. I know all your photos are on your phone. Not the same. It's not the same. So this, for me, is therapy. Therapy in cardstock. That's what I'm going to call it. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. We sit and chat while we do it. We get together once a month usually, and it's a good time. So here, let's glue down this. I'm using liquid glue because that's much easier, and I can get some of those spiky grass things glue down too. Not every one of them. You don't have to glue down every single one of them. And but just enough to hold it. I mean, it's fine. It's going to be in a page protector. Don't sweat the small stuff, kids. So just do what you don't know is while I'm speaking about this, because it's kind of a slow thing, is I'm gluing down one more little dewdrop that I put on this page at the very end. And it was just laying here, and I'm like, oh, that's not glued down. So I'm going to glue it down while I'm talking to you. And multitasking, it's a thing, right? So, but my glue is surprisingly stopped up. Oops, that's too much. I put too much. So I'm going to glue down my trees while you're watching now and put them where they go. And I tuck them under the grass because trees grow like that, right? So And I'm going to do it to the next one. There is glue on this page that I dropped, apparently. So I'm going to use my little pickup square. You're not seeing this, so I'm talking to myself while I'm doing it. But there, it's not noticeable. So we're going to glue these trees down, and what you're not seeing is in my head, I'm thinking, okay, something else needs to go over there. So, but let's go ahead and get this tree section, this other section glued down. Matching sections except for 3 trees on one side and 2 on the other. I think that it makes your eye flow to the other page. So let's get those placed. See, oh, see, look, I messed it up. That is not the final position of those trees. I think I'm just trying it out. But I'm like, nope, I need to switch those trees because that conflicts with that border to me. Mainly because that one leaf at the top of that tree is lighter in color, so it kind of gets lost. So I'm like, I'm trying to swap. So avocado tree first. I call it the avocado tree because it's shaped like an avocado. And then the puffy cotton ball tree, and then the tree with the leaves. So I'm going to glue those down and put my grass over them. And then we're going to work on the title area. And what happens here. But I do have something coming up here in the next section after we get all this glued down that finishes up this layout with the journaling. And I usually do my journaling off camera, but I really was excited about this listing journaling because I wanted to show you this technique of stamping on putting numbers corresponding to each photo and stamping them on little tiny die cuts, because I can see where I would have been intimidated by that in my early scrapping years. And now I'm like, oh, I learned a thing from Jennifer McGuire, I'm sure. And it works so well if you have a stamp tool. It doesn't matter which one. Tim Holtz, Altenew, Misty, you know, I think I have one of every one of them. And some I've passed on to friends. And just so that they are, I want my friends to have easy things too. Because I love this detail and I can't wait to share it with you. I'm going to show you how I did the first few, and then I'm going to do the rest off camera. But I'm going to I took pictures so that I could show you the results, and you can stop this video and look at those when it comes up. So, okay, there's my second border of grass. Gosh, isn't that color just great? None of the trees have this color. It's the Gumdrop Green 12 by 12 from the 12 by 12 cardstock shop. And I have a few of their colors, mainly the pinks, the greens. I have some blues and reds because you can get a swatch from them, swatch book. So I bought the swatch book and purchased what colors I wanted. So because now, you know, stores, they're not so available, and I don't go to Michael's very often, so let's pop this title up because I think that just adds so much to a layout. That little shadow of texture on your layout is just a good thing. There was no way I was popping up these trees, by the way. Too little. They would have looked cute, but too little. Too little. I did add some more details after, at the end, which I took a picture and I added it to the video at the very end. And I will tell you about it when it gets there. So Okay, Mr. Title, are we done yet? The next one won't be as long, friends, I promise, because this one had a lot of photos and a lot of details, and I love that, but I will make it shorter, I promise you. So I just decided to go long on this one. Just let the video run, and it's all good. So let's bring this other side back over to see where we want to place this. And I decide that it's going to go there. Her title was at the bottom, and then I pointed to that sketch because clouds. I was like, oh yeah, clouds. It needs clouds. So let's go over here to my journaling that I printed out in list form. And I am going to add those clouds first. So I added those clouds, and I'm going to show them to you. So they are from another die set, Poppy Stamps. Scripty clouds, I think. I think I show them to you here. Yes, here we go. Scribble clouds. And I have used them in my number counting book, and they're just super. I have other clouds. I could have used other clouds, but I like how these let the cardstock show through. So, and look different from the trees. So here's my list layout. I separated it into two groups because I had two spots for journaling. I could have done one, but gotta mix it up now and then. So I wanted to use this little set that I've had for, oh my gosh, 20 years, 25 years. But there's no numbers. Look at that. Ugh, frustrating. And that's a bullet case. Remember those little wood stamps? I can't get rid of them. I think I'm gonna let my granddaughter use them. So I decided to get these out. This is Hero Art's month stamp. And I'm gonna use this little die. It's just a stitch die circle from I don't know what, because I throw them all of my circles, I use a lot of circles, into one envelope and take with me when I scrapbook. And it sits right here on my desk. So you can find stitched circles everywhere. The key was for this one, for it to be very small. And for a minute there, I thought it was going to be too small, but it ended up working out great. So I'm going to cut my journaling down to a very similar size of my photos. I originally was going to make it the same size, and then I was like, nope, that's too big. So get out my little trimmer. That's supposed to be a photo trimmer. I use it for regular all the time. It cuts so great that I just use it all the time, and I hope it never wears out. I'll just buy another one. Right? Isn't that what we do? Oh, it's worn out. That's terrible. Let's try the foil trick. That didn't work? Okay. Must buy another one. I'm drinking coffee again, friends. So, okay. So let's get this trimmed down. And we need to look at this because our numbers are going to correspond with that list, the numbers that I make. So there you go. As you can see, it's little, and I'm fine with that. It doesn't have to match perfectly. So, okay, here we go. We're going to cut a circle with our stitch circle. It's very tiny. It's maybe 1/2 inch diameter, maybe. And we're going to use the numbers from this set. So I'm going to cut one, and then I am going to continue. See, there it is. It's cute. It's little. But I'm going to make a template with these circles. So yeah, this is a good trick because it works great. So I have 12 photos, 12 things on my list, so I need to cut a template with 12 of these circles. So I'm going to zoom through this pretty quick and cut 12 circles. Apparently, I swear I've made this faster. Well, maybe I didn't, but anyway, I have to pick it up on my mat because as you've seen, my mat still not been cleaned. Maybe I'll do that today since it's so hot outside. I could put it outside to dry, and it would dry in a minute and would be all fine. Oh, here we go. Look at that. I am the fastest scrapper on the planet. It's amazing. So there's our template and our 12 circles. There's little dots from my mat. That came off my mat from something else. I think cutting strawberries. So now I'm going to get out my stamp wheel. This is the Stampwheel 2.0. It has some great features. It's a little larger. One of the sides comes off so you can hang your paper out the side. It has a sticky mat inside to hold your paper. And I am going to put my template right here up at the top. So sticky, it doesn't move. And I am going to put all these little circles back inside. I want to show you how I do it with just doing one of the numbers, because I was worried. I never would have done this in my early scrapping years because it was just too much. I was kind of a chicken, and I didn't adventure out of my square photos, square papers. Yeah, I didn't venture out of that box. I used letter stickers, and I look at some of those layouts and I go, oh my gosh, I knew nothing. I hadn't studied any designs, nothing. So, but now I'm like, let's just do it. It's just paper, friends. It's just paper. But then, back then, I was younger. I had 3 children. I was on a scrapbooking budget, and I was kind of a chicken. Like, I would mess it up, and I'm like, so what if I mess it up? Now I'm like, so what? I can do it again, or I can leave it. It's completely up to me. It's not that important, and it doesn't have to be perfect. This is real life, making real mess with your real memories, and it is okay to not be perfect. It's okay. It's okay. Not everything is an art project that you're going to get graded on. Your family, my family, just looks at these and laughs and has a good time and oohs and ahs, and so that's what it's about. So, okay, this little tiny number, it's so tiny and it wants to stick to my nails because it's an acrylic stamp, and my nails would be acrylic if they weren't plastic. And so I'm going to show you another tip here. So it goes in that circle on the place where you want it, and look at it sticking to my nail. Sticking to my nail. So I'm going to show you another trick here. I am looking for a pencil with an eraser, and I find this one. I should have poked that eraser out further. I did later on. And yeah, don't try to use that tip. It sticks right to that tip. The eraser only. It will move it without picking it up. Isn't that a great tip? Great tip. And I think that was a Kathy Z tip. There are some great creative people with fabulous tips. So I'm going to move it where it goes. Oh, you get to see my head again. Aren't you lucky? And I'm going to put, I'm turning lights on because I'm like, something happened. Anyway, I'm going to show you how to put this on. So the stamp wheel, if you haven't seen it, it has this wheel, and that circle, the hole goes at the top, and you line up those corners into the corner of the stamp wheel. And so it picks it right up. Look at that. And it also picked up my paper this time because these stamps are new and I haven't used them and I hadn't prepped them. So I just prep it with my finger really quick. Let's tap that because we don't want it to move. We're going to gently rub it. I do find my eraser, which is also great to use. It's just one of those plastic Pentel erasers. Plastic. Oh, Pentel erasers. I used to get them for my kids all the time now, and I have them because they're the best. Those white ones. High polymer eraser from Pentel. I'm going to use VersaFine Clair because I always get a crisp word with it. And it's their Midnight. It's excellent. It doesn't take hardly any to get on there. And we are going to line it up the same way I showed you before. Hole at the top, line up the corners. Do not press it down until it's where it needs to be. And the press is so gentle and it comes out great. The combination of this stamp wheel and that ink and that paper, which is just a scrap, so I don't even know what paper that is. I think it might be 80-pound Nina or something. I don't know. And then I'm just going to clean it off with a baby wipe. Yeah, no big deal. And it came out fabulous. So I'm going to do another one here. Oh, I'm going to put this one away, and I'm going to get the 2. I think I do 3 here. And then I skip ahead. And I'm going to take some pictures because I was like, I am not willing to risk, this is the chicken in me that I talked about before, that I would mess this up and have to cut more circles. I didn't cut any extras. I was like, I was going to, and then I went, no, you know what? I can do this if I just slow down and take my time. Look at me, still trying with a finger like it's going to work. It never works. Eraser only. And put the 2 on there. I'm going to pick it up again, hole at the top, corners lined up, and I'm gently push it. It just picks it right up. Again, picks up my paper because I haven't prepped these stamps. I haven't even used all of them yet. I love the months and I love the numbers. They're great. It has everything you need for a calendar. So there I'm showing you what kind of eraser I'm using. It's my go-to eraser. I have one in my travel bag and I have one at my desk. And I have a scrapbooking event tomorrow, so I'm very excited. I need to prep for that today too, but I wanted to get this video up so you didn't think I died or something. Gentle press, gentle press. I don't need the Chucky tool or the press tool. I just use my fingers because this, I don't know what it is about this tool, but it is just a very, very nice press for your stamps. No big pressing. It's just very simple. It's great if you have strength issues. So I highly recommend it. It's a little on the pricey side, but I really do like it. Really, really, really do like it. So I waited for version 2.0. I like that the side comes off, so I can use big papers and big stamps. And making a wreath with this tool is so easy because it's rippled like that around that circle so that you can rotate and not have to pick up the paper. So you can rotate the stamp on the paper. I'll have to show you sometime. I mean, there's people that do better videos than me doing it, and I would love to do it. But I need a video. I gotta watch a DIY on how to do the stamp wheel. I mean, I've watched. I know what it does. But for this is great. It's very similar. This is very similar to the Misty part, but this has more versatility to me. And I've loved my Misty forever. And I had, yeah, like I said, I've passed some on to friends, and I had a knockoff and a little mini one for making cards, and I probably still have that somewhere. My husband had to repair it because the hinge broke, because you had to press so hard. And okay, so here we go. I decide that I'm going to go ahead and stamp them all at once. I am a risk taker, so there they all are, and I'm pushing them down, and look at that. Perfect. They're perfect. It doesn't even matter that they're tilted because it's a circle. I can tilt it whatever way I want as long as they're in the middle. So, okay, so now we're going to take off those 2.5-inch squares and put the squares that I actually cut for my journaling with the journaling on it. So I'm just going to pick those up, and I can do that because it's temporary adhesive. And yeah, it's a good thing. It's just a good thing. See, I think that's fine. I think it's fine. I don't think it has to be the same size. If it bugs you, make it the same size. You do you, girl. Girl, guy, whoever. And, okay, those are not glued down, so let's glue them down. And I am going to place the numbers and show you what those look like. So we have to be mindful of which pictures get which number. And I tried to make them look like scattered, like not all in a row, because I like that wonky look. I'm a wonky scrapper kind of. So we're paying attention to what this journaling says and which picture it corresponds with. So yeah, so I'm using the lid from this container to hold my numbers, because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose a number. I just know it. And you know what? I did, and it was stuck to the back of something else. Because I wouldn't be me. So let's zoom. I'm just gluing these down with my glue. And there they are, all placed all over. They look great. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Appreciate every one of you who subscribes and likes and leave me a comment. Thank you again. There, oh, I added dewdrops. Look at that. It's so cute. Bye.